Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video I'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 11 of the anime series Arpeggio of Blue Steel, Ars Nova. And we're pretty much picking up right where we left off with the effective resurrection of Gunzo and Iona at Takao's hands. And very soon into the episode we finally have an answer as to whether she's actually dead and gone or not. And I was very happily surprised to see that she is very much not. I had speculated, with their merging and becoming this hybrid vessel, which is absolutely gorgeous, I have to say, with the blue accents, which are, of course, Takao's normal coloring and everything like that. I had wondered if maybe Iona and she would have merged psyches or consciousnesses as well, and whether or not Iona would be subjected to having romantic feelings for Gunzo and all this stuff. But of course, because we're nearing the end of the series so much, none of that actually took place. We very much have them both still being their own entities, and whereas, of course, Iona is still a mental model, Takao has no mental model form anymore. She lost that with the merging and lacks the nanomaterials necessary to become one. So she's kind of the computer interface of this hybrid vessel. She still very much has her conscience, and I found it very sort of intriguing and ironic that for a lack of having physical form, she has found a level of courage that we haven't seen before, in that when Gunzo, there's a point where he thanks her flat out for what she did, for making that sacrifice and bringing them both back. And, usually she would sort of turn away and blush, and in this case, she actually pointedly keeps her eyes attached to his and says, well, I didn't actually do it for Iona, implying I did it for you. And Gunzo reacts to this. I was glad that he did in the way he did, because he finally there's a level of acknowledgement in, maybe not the romantic feeling side of what Takao's been feeling, but that, there's camaraderie and stuff like that. And I absolutely love that, because Takao has now kind of come out of the closet with how she feels, not full on saying, I love you, I want you to be my captain, all of that stuff that she's been harboring, but she's faced him. So, of course, we see that Gunzo himself, though still licking wounds from his near-death experience, he is in full form, at least mentally, because, there's that point in the early part of the episode, they're being followed by 23 or 24 ships, whatever it is, from the Fleet of Fog, and he, at full speed, wheels this ship around, opening the gravity cannon and effectively firing it to take out each one by one, side by side, while still wheeling a 180-degree turn. Just absolutely magnificent. And we find out soon on the coattails of this, following them, of course, are still the I-400 and the I-402, Iona's sisters. And why I found this very compelling was because, of course, she tries to commune with them and talk them down of wanting to sink her and everything like that. She tries to put forth the emotional torment she's feeling in having to kill her sisters, effectively, because they are identical. And, one could argue that all of the mental models, all of the Fleet of Fog, are essentially a family of a sort. But because they are now experiencing emotions and everything like that, evolving beyond their programming, you have Iona really heartbroken, really feeling tumultuous emotions because of this. And, of course, neither of the sister ships will back down, so there's no recourse. But for Gunzo and Takao and all of them, all of the mental models that have strayed from the nest, that is the Fleet of Fog, working in unison, working together as a group to take down these two vessels, which they effectively do. And you just see Iona, completely stunned. Her eyes are wide, her mouth is agape, and she just doesn't know how to process it. And finally, when it's all said and done, I was a little surprised by her rebound being so immediate that, she's kind of back to brass tacks, where she says to Gunzo, I'm Gunzo's ship, I'm going to follow his word and everything like that. She even says to the two sisters before taking them out, whatever his dream is, whatever his goal is, I'm here to help him fulfill it. So it's very interesting. The turn of the tide, so to speak, no pun intended, which then coincides with them trying to get to America, and we find a little nod back to the kamikaze guy who apparently was trying to keep this country in a stranglehold and create a coup. He tried to kill this little girl after giving the one and only warhead she created to Gunzo, trying to spirit it away to the Americas, and he tried to apparently, like I say, create a coup to keep power, governmental power, all in his own sort of side, implicating other people in it and everything like that. And the dirty dealings make me call into question what it was all about to begin with. When they're trying to get to America, they're getting very near it after sinking the two sister ships, and they think all of these oncoming vessels are going to be the American, fleet that they've been trying to reunite with, but in fact they're all Fleet of Fog ambush vessels. And on the coattails of that, of course, is Congo with this giant, almost Death Star-looking, Transformers-esque vessel. It's a giant sort of, circular ball shape that just defies anything we've seen up to now. I don't even imagine what the hell that could be. But she's broken free of her chains, and as one of my viewers corrected me, with the Maya interface, Maya was the ship that's been traveling alongside her all along. It just never created a mental model form. The mental model form we saw of Maya's was a ruse created by the sister ships because, as I said in my previous video, Congo was not to be trusted. So, of course, Congo is coming calling with the one and only directive to sink this vessel, and it looks like all hell is about to break loose. I can't wait to see how it's going to unfold, and I can't wait to hear from you guys in the comments below if you've seen this episode, what you thought of it, where you think it's going to go in the final episode. Is Gunzo going to save the day? Is there even an American fleet on the other side of that ambush Fleet of Fog vessels, waiting for them? Or was that all a ruse to begin with? Otherwise, that'll be it for me on this one. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll catch you later. Peace.